Hi, my name is Mark Bernard. I'm a monetary economist. In this video, I want to talk about the looming real estate depression in Russia. Normally, I talk about the ruble and the monetary crisis because I'm specifically a monetary economist. I've studied it my whole life. But in this video, I want to talk about real estate. What do I know about real estate? Well, my other hat is I'm a real estate agent in the state of Florida. I've been doing that for a number of years, so I think I can speak with pretty good definitive ideas about real estate in general. And the second component is I live in Central Eastern Europe. I'm looking for real estate myself in Central Europe, going to buy an apartment in maybe Krakow, Poland. And I'll tell you a little bit of differences and some important aspects that relate specifically to Russia. The Russian real estate market is going down. Okay, I'm going to get into the details. And first, I'm going to talk about there's a few big banks, and I think everybody knows it. Sberbank, PIK Bank, Gazprombank, and these are connected with the largest real estate developers. There's Samolet, which is the largest in Russia. Samo means loan. Like in Poland, we say samolot, which means like an airplane lot. Okay, and then you also have PIK, and you also have LSR, I believe, real estate developers. The banks and the real estate developers are in cohesion, but the problem is they're very toxic, non-transparent, corrupt, and they're cooking the books. I'm going to talk about that in a second. First, Konstantin on Inside Russia has chronicalized how real estate is going down between 40 and 60% in Russia. You can check out his channel to see the actual numbers. I'm going to talk about it from what I like to say is a microeconomic perspective, and that's me or you. Would you personally buy real estate in Russia? I am buying real estate in Poland, potentially, because it's, I feel, a good investment. You have transparency, stable markets, peace. You have, do you know what an HOA fee is? A CDD fee? Special assessment. We have these in Florida. You know, you buy a condo, you've got a HOA, right? And you've got a CDD, you've got a special assessment. All these are like additions that you have to pay. Homeowners association fees. They're fairly high in Florida, in addition to the taxes, in addition to the insurance. In Poland, you may have $150, zloty. You may have like total insurance and taxes on a building, an apartment, it might be $100 a year. That's compared to like $5,000 in the US or in Florida. You know, your HOAs, your HOA fees are fairly low in Poland compared to the United States, at least in Florida. In Florida, they pop up with special assessments. You got to pay $20,000, $40,000 because we discovered something or something has to be done. And so all these come into play in the language of Russian real estate. Because if you know Russian real estate, have you ever been to Russia? That's the question. Brzezinski apartments, Brzezinski flats are all over Russia. Communist-built flats, corroding concrete, inferior concrete, things that have huge structural problems. And the HOAs in Russia, they're all underwater. You know, because if you pay this, let's say it's $500 HOA, I'm not converting rubles or anything, and then you have inflation, the HOAs tend not to go up as fast. A component of the HOA is to put money aside for special repairs, like the elevator, concrete, structural problems in the buildings. These aged Russian buildings, many of them over 100 years old, but the worst, they were all built under communism. 1917 going forward are inferior construction. Polish construction is heavy duty. I can trust it. Okay, I even trust it more than I trust like Florida construction, quite frankly. Don't know what they're using. Polish engineers are checking and rechecking. So if I'm paying an HOA in Poland, I know that I am getting my money's worth. They set money aside. If you do it in Russia, that's all cooking the books. They don't have money aside to fix for these cracks, these structural problems, these safety issues. So as an individual, if I am an individual in a bear market in Russia with high, very high fees and no promises of the future. If I have no promises of the future of security, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not going to invest in real estate. This is a downward spiral. Now, remember the 2008 financial crisis. That was mostly mortgage-backed securities. Russia has about 1.8 trillion, ruble, but they're actually larger. It's growing, these mortgage backs. That's all coming down. I was an investment accountant. I've been to many banks. I can guarantee you these banks, Sberbank and Samolet, the developer, they're cooking their books. There is no way as an investment accountant, I can in good conscience say that they have a transparent and clean record. I cannot say that for a fact. I can look at external signals. The only way you can do it is you actually look at the books. But even when I was at banks and various companies and I could sense that they were cooking the books, you had to do some forensic accounting and digging down deep. I can almost guarantee everything in Russia right now, because of the geopolitical conflict, they're cooking the books. What does that mean for the real estate market in Russia? It's a downward spiral that's going to continue and continue. When real estate goes down, the whole market collapses because where are people going to live? What people are in debt. People have put money forward. They've taken out loans to banks. Where's their apartment? What's going to happen? People say it's not going to be as bad as the 90s. I say it's going to be much, much worse than the 90s because the 90s, you were in Russia, you were coming from like very ground level. You fall, if you're ground level, you fall a little bit. They're at dizzying highs. The real estate market. And again, check out Inside Russia. I agree that Samolet is the poster child for cooking the books, as well as the banks I mentioned. I mean, Gazprom, are you going to trust a loan from there? Why is this important? I'm an economist and I can relate back to Knut Wicksell. The banking sector is the intermediary that links the monetary sector and the real sector. F.A. Hayek and Mises, they extended that theory in the Austrian School of Trade Cycles that said, when you take out a loan, you're projecting many, many, many years in the future because the construction process takes time. So this is all done in segments. And when one segment starts to break down, the whole capital lengthening, you can look up capital lengthening, collapses. It's a pyramid. In real estate, that's particularly true. And so the Russian economy is facing multiple weaknesses in the ruble, but now the real estate sector is coming, but also the accounting sector. Individuals in Russia, if you want to make the world a better place, if you want to save your hide, I would highly recommend stocking up and hoarding tangible goods because as barter exchange ratios, you can look up Inatura, IN space NATURA. It's like in nature, barter exchange that's about right. Ratios start to take place, you've got to have something to trade, right? I told you the story about the bus station and I was trading rubles. You got to have something to trade. I recommend tangible goods like potatoes. You can't get your hands on, I wouldn't trust at this point, if you throw it all in cryptos, it's a zero-sum game, really a negative-sum game. You flip a coin. I wouldn't trust I'm talking hard currency. Number one hard currency in Russia is the US dollar. Number two, the euro. Explain that to me. So as a real estate agent who understands HOAs and the fact that it's creeping HOAs, and then boom, you have a special assessment of $40,000 and you can't pay that, you're underwater. Your bank's underwater. And don't think they'll let you off the hook. This let's say gangster economy in Russia, if your bank goes under, it doesn't work like that. So real estate in Russia is in severe trouble. I am going to buy it in Poland, in Krakow. these beautiful apartments here, constructed very well, very stable market, historic real estate. You want to buy real estate, always buy historic real estate. You have it up and down. I lived in Beacon Hill in Boston for a while. You have it up and down, but it usually comes back. Okay, there's no guarantees about anything, but it's a very stable, tangible asset in a diversified portfolio. You, you're in Russia, all bets are off. I don't even know if the state of Russia is going to exist in the future. I am really worried about the Russian people. I mean, as a compassionate, humanistic person. Now, you might say Ukraine. Oh, of course, my heart goes out to Ukraine. I'm on Ukraine's side. Ukraine is plugged in to the greatest markets in the world. Tomorrow, I can go to Ukraine and I can buy things, bring it back to Poland, bring it back to your Saligo. I can go. I can't do that in Russia. Russia is a closed economy. It's a dark economy. And if you look at the ruble, you look at real estate, Russians, winter is coming. And I really don't want to be a Russian right now. I don't know what I would do if I was a Russian. Try to get out, escape. But the real estate is going to be in crisis and depression. My name is Mark Biernat. I'm a monetary economist, as well as a real estate agent. But I'm a monetary economist. Have a great day. Thank you very much.